The same statistics you cited from the NBS in terms of poverty rate, particularly unemployment rate, suggested or stated very explicitly that in 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere in that range, I believe it was 2014, that the unemployment rate in the nation, this was from NBS, the same NBS you cited, that the unemployment rate in the nation was 8%. 8, that is 8, less than 10%, 8%. Okay?
Now it's at 3%.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Unemployment rate today is at 3%.
I'm coming. So
Okay.
8% was the claim at that time, 2015 period. Now, I ask you this question.
Yeah.
As a Nigerian who is being honest, you're on TV, everybody's watching us, right? Now, would you agree that any time within your lifetime, in the last 30, 40 years, that in this country, Nigeria, that we're all living in 2015, 2014, 2013, that out of all of the adult population in the country, which is well over 100 million people, that 92 million out of 100 million working adults, even worse than that, I think it's something like 110 out of 130 million Nigerians, essentially, had access to jobs, had access to income in this country, and only 20 million out of 130 million didn't have access to any job as of 2014. That's how good things were. I'm coming, please. I need to land this point.
Okay.
That's how good things were in 2014, according to the NBS. We all know that that's a lie. We all lived in this country. We had siblings and friends and uncles, and we were in the society. We know that that's a lie.
Are you saying the NBS is lying?
I'm saying to you very clearly that the NBS has a serious problem with accurate data till today.
When it concerns you,
I'm coming, please. I'm not in any way deflecting of the challenges we have, which is why I've been very honest with you in saying that poverty is a problem. Job creation is something that we still have to do a lot towards, even though we've made more progress toward that than any previous administration combined. But the issue that we have now is that when we say 33 or 40% unemployment, right? There are a few things. Number one is the idea that every single year we have about 2 million young Nigerians coming out into the labor force, meaning that they come of age, they're 18, they're leaving secondary school or whatever the case may be, coming into the labor force. Meaning that every year, if government creates 2 million jobs a year, every single year, we're just breaking even. That means that unemployment is not rising and it's not falling, right? That's if we're creating 2 million jobs every single year to meet with what is joining the labor market every single year. The mistake that people make, often, analysts, is the idea that when the unemployment rate goes up, it's because businesses are closing and people are leaving the country, which is absolute nonsense. What the reality is that because you have all of these people coming into the labor force year on year on year, and we have a huge youth population in this country continuing to come into the labor force, you have to create a certain number of jobs just to break even, just so that unemployment does not get worse. These are things that Nigerians, we still have a lot of communication to do for them to understand. But the last point I want to make on your question of the NBS is you're right. The NBS is a government agency. So it is absolutely our responsibility to position the NBS to be able to come out with accurate data that Nigerians can rely on. There's no question about that.
And you believe it's not doing that now?
And what I believe is this. The challenge we currently have, and this is why it's important for us to be honest with ourselves, the challenge we currently have is right now, my brother, as of today in Nigeria, any market you go to across the entire federation, all these markets, Sabongari, Wuse, Garki, you name them, Ariaria, name them. You go to those markets, you have a woman in the market selling textiles. She has a small stall in the marketplace. She even has 1 or 2 boys and girls working under her, proteges and all of that, right? She's paying them monthly salary of 20,000 naira, 25,000 naira. She's doing her business, she's paying her staff. They come every month, they come every day, they work with her. She takes home her pay, maybe 100,000, 150,000, however it is according to whatever she was able to sell that month. Now listen to this. Because she has not formalized her business, meaning she's not registered with the CAC, she has not registered with the FIRS, right? She's not paying taxes, right? The NBS as of today qualifies her as 1, unemployed, and 2, unemployed, and 2, because she's unemployed, she's qualified as under the poverty line as of today in Nigeria. Right now, we have 30 million 30 million Nigerians, Nigerian businesses, MSMEs, that are not registered formally with the CAC and the FIRS, but they're conducting their business. Whether it's hawking on the street or whether it's actual market stalls or market boutiques or boutiques in the rural communities. So the challenge we have
actually,
now...
that's not factually correct.
No,
because when the NBS... It's not factually correct at all.
I've had these discussions with the NBS.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
When the NBS takes statistics about who is employed, who is underemployed, and who is unemployed in Nigeria, what they do is they do surveys.
You're talking to somebody who has had a conversation with the Statistician General on this issue.
I have to.
Yeah, so what you're saying is wrong.
Trust me, I have to. What they do, what they do entirely, what they do is they look at how many hours a week somebody is engaged in an employment. Any kind of employment, regardless of whether it's in the formal sector. Excuse me.
Not only
regardless, because what you are saying is any employment that is outside of. But it's a conversation between two people.
It's a conversation
between two people.
I should be able to land my point.
Okay, go ahead.
The point I was making before I was interrupted was not only do you have this issue with the data, which is absolutely true. There's nothing false about what I said. And I'll allow you to intervene in a moment.
Trust me, it's not factually correct.
No, it's absolutely factually correct, and I'm going to tell you why. On top of what I've just said is the fact that the NBS, I had a conversation directly with the Statistician General. And what he said to us, I'm not talking about the one he has with the media man, I'm talking about the one he has behind the scenes in government. It's a different conversation than he will have with you. I can tell you that for sure.
Go ahead.
Now, the Statistician General told us very clearly that we have a handful of NBS staff. A handful, right? Go to the NBS yourself and go and see what their employment roles look like. How many staff do they have to be able to send out into the nooks and crannies of the entire Nigerian Federation? To go out, they send out a handful of people, state by state by state, almost like NOA, trying to go to all the wards of all the local governments to count all the businesses and all the heads. You think that's being done? I can tell you from the mouth of the Statistician General, the NBS, that is not being done.
Okay.
No, so he is now...
Can we move beyond this?
No, because you accused me of saying something wrong, and I'm telling you that I was not wrong, I was correct, and I'm telling you that allegation you made against me was false. Actually. So that's very important to me. I'm an honest person. So on top of all of that,
so I am.
Well, you were wrong this time.
No, not at all, not at all.
So the issue here is that when the Statistician General himself tells us in government that, look, we have a problem, we need, first of all, more funding, and we need more manpower to be able to go out and get a more accurate count of what the unemployment rate in the country actually is. That is not me talking to you or deflecting blame. That's me telling you what the issues really are. So if you now tell me that the NBS is doing their jobs well and I'm trying to deceive people, I'm going to tell our viewers that you're wrong and that you should not make that allegation against my person.